Hello, and welcome to Kylie's Kitchen, okay? We are testing out a dinner recipe tonight. I have absolutely no idea how this is going to turn out because so far this recipe has only been in my head and I haven't actually cooked it yet. But I think it's going to be good. I also don't have a name for this recipe yet because I haven't made it yet. So you'll see as we go along, and hopefully I'll have a name for it by the time I finish cooking it. But it's a spin-off on the taco wheel, but it's my version, and hopefully a little bit more filling. So let's see how it goes. First things first, we are going to start by browning some ground beef. I would normally be using ground turkey because I prefer it flavor-wise, and I also prefer to cook with ground turkey because it isn't as greasy, and I just prefer the flavor. But the store didn't have ground turkey this week or last week when I shopped, so we're doing ground beef. We're going to brown this up, and I will come back after it's browning because I've had some complaints about the noise of the sizzling and talking when I'm doing videos, so I'm not going to film that part at all. I'm going to turn the stove on after I put the meat in the skillet. Got it. While our ground beef is browning, we are going to chop up half of an onion, and I apologize for the background toddler noises. I am running solo tonight. My husband is working, so it's just me, so I don't have anyone to distract him and, watch him while I cook. So he's in the kitchen with me tonight, which adds extra layers to that. Anyways, we're going to chop up this half of an onion. And once that ground beef starts to brown a little bit and we're able to break it up some, then we will add the onion in to brown up as well. We're going to chop up half of a bell pepper. It does not matter what color, it's whatever color you have. I buy the variety pack and just use the colors as I, have recipes. I like the extra color that adds to my life. Red bell peppers are my favorite, but I already used up the red bell pepper, so yellow is my next favorite. There isn't really that much taste difference. I just have color preferences when it comes to bell peppers. I do think that the red bell peppers taste sweeter, but I don't think technically there's that much difference. So we're just going to chop this up, and we're going to add it in just the same as the onion. We are going to turn our oven to 375 degrees to preheat for later on what we're going to be doing. I probably should have started with preheating my oven, but I just now remembered. It'll be fine. It'll probably be done preheating by the time we're ready for it. Once your meat is browned, we're going to be adding 1 can of drained and rinsed black beans, 1 can of drained and rinsed black beans, and 1 can of diced tomatoes, which I accidentally got whole tomatoes, so I just chopped my tomatoes up. Perfectly fine. You're going to need 1 packet of taco seasoning. I like to add a little bit of extra seasoning, so some pepper, garlic, onion powder, and some paprika is what we're going to do today. About 8 ounces of shredded cheese. You can use any cheese that you want. I'm using this blend because it's what I have, and we are a use what you have household. Going to need 1 can of biscuits. Going to go ahead and get this opened up, and we are going to be flattening these biscuits. Give me 1 sec.
Okay, so you're going to flatten out your biscuits in the bottom of a 9x13 baking dish. Ideally, you needed 2 cans of biscuits. I thought I could do this with 1 can. It was not enough. So in the recipe, I said that you need 2 cans of biscuits, 1 can to go on the bottom, and then 1 can to go on top, which in the next part, I tore apart my biscuits so that it went a little bit farther, but it would be much better if you just had a whole can to put on top, and then you could cover the top as well as the bottom. So just press them out on the bottom and press them out on top as best you can, and then cover that with some more shredded cheese. I forgot to say earlier to reserve some cheese to put on top, but
now I'm going to bake this in the oven for how long does it take the biscuits to bake? Because that's how long we need to bake this for. 15 minutes. So I'm gonna do 20 minutes. I'm gonna bake it for 20 to 25 minutes. I'll let you know at the end exactly how long I do end up baking it for. But I want the cheese to get nice and melty, and I want the biscuits to be fully baked. No doughy biscuits around here. This is what it looks like out of the oven. Already dished up our plates for dinner. So that is. I cooked it for 18 minutes at 375 degrees. You can see it got some crispiness. If you don't want it crispy like that, then you can cook it for a little bit less time. But that was a perfect amount of time. So this is what we're having for dinner tonight. We're about to do a taste test and see how this tastes, but it smells and looks great. All right, here's my dinner bowl. I'm gonna dig in. It's still a little warm, so. That is good. That is really good. Only thing I would do different for next time is do 2 cans of biscuits, 1 can on the bottom and 1 can on top, and then it would be perfect. But I wouldn't change anything else. I may add a can of corn into it next time I do it. I think that would be good. A little bit extra filling and a vegetable, but other than that, everything else on point. It is very delicious, and I definitely prefer this to the taco wheel. We didn't like the taco wheel because of the crescent dough and how it baked up, but this with the biscuits, perfect. Also, I think this is easier than the taco wheel in my opinion.